We must continue to support Ukraine, as Putin's victory will be a tragedy? NATO Secretary General.
Here's a summary of the article.
Your profile can be used to present content that appears more relevant based on your possible interests, such as by adapting the order in which content is shown to you, so that it is even easier for you to find content that matches your interests. Content presented to you on this service can be based on your content personalization profiles, which can reflect your activity on this or other services, possible interests and personal aspects, such as by adapting the order in which content is shown to you, so that it is even easier for you to find content that matches your interests. Information regarding which content is presented to you and how you interact with it can be used to determine whether the content, e.g., reached its intended audience and matched your interests. Reports can be generated based on the combination of datasets regarding your interactions and those of other users with advertising or content to identify common characteristics. Information about your activity on this service, such as your interaction with ads or content, can be very helpful to improve products and services and to build new products and services based on user interactions, the type of audience, etc. Content presented to you on this service can be based on limited data, such as the website or app you are using, your non-precise location, your device type, or which content you are interacting with. Certain information is used to ensure the technical compatibility of the content or advertising, and to facilitate the transmission of the content or ad to your device.
This post received a score of 2,800, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Ye okay, Gens. Now instead of saying all the right things, let's do all the right things and give them the stuff they can actually fight with.
Or better yet, let's get a coalition to kick the Russians out.
If at the first signs of trouble, namely this current counter-offensive, we start backing down, then I really don't know how much the West's word is worth. I'm sure every imperialistic authoritarian country will also be taking notes. It's especially concerning when the West hasn't even provided all the required weapon systems to Ukraine. The fact that Ukraine has done all that they have done so far without some critical weapon systems against Russia, one of the biggest military powers in the world, is astonishing.
Russia knows the way to destroy the West. Cause a small amount of hardship, then dangle puppet parties in front of voters that promise to make the suffering go away. Watch the US vote in a pro-Russian plant because gas prices went up and their truck is more important than world peace.
An expensive tragedy, at that. Not just in human costs, but actual money. Right now, it's pennies on the dollar, undermining Russia. Never again will the free world see this kind of opportunity to neuter Russia, and collapse its terrorist regime from afar. Ukrainians are fighting for their right to exist. Funding them fully is in the interest of everyone. Russia needs to collapse, be demilitarized, and forced to pay.
Problem is you can't just collapse, demilitarize, and force to pay a nation that has thousands of nuclear weapons. If Russia just straight up collapsed, what happens to all those weapons? Who's watching and securing them? Allies of the regime? Separatists? Commanders who go rogue? You saw how quickly when the USSR collapsed, these corrupt government and military officers sold off military equipment to the highest bidder. A power vacuum in Russia is potentially just as dangerous as they are now, if not worse.
You are parroting a Kremlin talking point. Thousands of nukes under control of a hostile dictator who constantly threatens to nuke the world is not an improvement.
We need more weapons to the front line for any of this to be possible. Greater than, we must also be prepared for bad news. The course of wars is not a constant, but a variable process. We must support Ukraine in good times and in bad. The current war is a war of attrition, it is a battle for efficiency, a battle for logistics, Stoltenberg explained. How it turned into some war of attrition, if during 2 years of Ukrainian war NATO gave to Ukraine less than 1% of its weapon stocks and USA spent on Ukrainian war 33% of what, per year, it was spent on Afghanistan? It's not war of attrition, it's NATO consciously extending Ukrainian war as war of attrition by refusing to provide Taurus, M1064 mortar carriers, attack helicopters, MQ-1 Predator and so on.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.